Can the sound of a plane save a city or destroy it? Imagine a world with no radar, only ears to hear the enemy. 1917, Europe, the heart of a brutal war. The sky is a battlefield, and Albert, a 25-year-old sky listener, stands alone. Using giant metal mirrors, he tracks enemy planes, relying on nothing but his ears. Have you ever heard of these forgotten heroes? The sky was their hunting ground, silence their only weapon. Who was this solitary ear of the war, and why were they erased from history? Every morning, Albert climbed a lonely hill, the weight of war on his shoulders. Headphones on, he sat by the massive acoustic mirror, its cold surface his only companion. Sky listeners were the pre-radar tech of their time, capturing enemy plane engine sounds with these giant mirrors. Albert learned to read the sounds like a map, whispering to himself, "Northeast, 8 miles." One mistake could mean death for thousands, a city reduced to ash. The sky was silent, but the echoes of war could erupt any moment. One stormy night, the sky roared with fury, a tempest threatening to drown all sound. Wind rattled the mirrors, the jumbled echoes driving Albert to the edge. Then he heard it, a German plane's hum, faint but growing louder, closing in fast. "Which direction?" he shouted, his headphones trembling in the chaos of the storm. The plane drew closer, the sky glowing red with the promise of destruction. Albert finally cracked the sound, his voice shaking. "Southwest, 5 miles." Sirens blared, but it was too late. The plane had already dropped its deadly bomb. Albert didn't give up, even as the guilt of that night haunted him. Another day, he heard a plane early, its faint hum a warning in the dawn. "North, 12 miles, he reported, his voice steady, saving a city from ruin. Sirens sounded, and the people below survived another day. But the war never stopped. Its shadow loomed over every moment. Sky listeners lived on the edge of death, their minds strained by the constant fear. They were the unsung guardians, protecting lives while risking their own sanity. Then came the 1920s, and radar changed everything, rendering the mirrors obsolete. Albert's shifts ended, his purpose stripped away in an instant. The sky fell silent, no more planes to hunt, no more sounds to decipher. His story faded into shadows, forgotten by a world that moved on. But Albert's courage had once brought down a plane. One fateful night, he perfectly tracked its engine. "East, 3 miles, he called, his voice a beacon in the darkness. British planes took off, their engines roaring as they hunted the enemy biplane. Gunfire lit the night, and the German plane spiraled down in flames, crashing in a fiery explosion. But Albert couldn't rejoice. Each victory came at a heavy cost, the weight of war crushing his spirit. Sky listeners like him had protected cities, their ears the first line of defense. But radar erased their legacy, leaving only whispers of their bravery. Were they mad to listen to the sky, or were they the unsung geniuses of war? Now those mirrors are rotting, abandoned relics of a forgotten time. But Albert's courage still echoes through history. Sky listeners were the unseen heroes of war, their sacrifices saving countless lives. Without them, cities might have burned, reduced to ashes in the night. Would you dare to wear Albert's headphones and listen to the sky's deadly whispers? Share your thoughts below. Let's keep their story alive. At ForgottenTrades, we're reviving the past with the magic of AI. Subscribe now and join us on this journey through time.